Buenos dias, Lovelanders community. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Chef Miguel Vecin. I'm one of the owners of Pintxos, a Spanish restaurant with several branches in Metro Manila. And today we celebrate the Dia de la Hispanidad, which is the Spanish National Day. I'm going to share with you some, not really recipes, but more tips on how to prepare easy tapas at home. Also how to, a bit of the wine pairing. So we're gonna have some Spanish wine that we're gonna showcase also. I've done some shopping in Landers the other day. So let's see how that went. And then when we tune back, we can start with some of the dishes that we're gonna make. Okay, so let's get started. The first dish we're gonna do is the quintessential tapa in Spain, which is tortilla de patatas, the Spanish omelette. No secret to that, but this is an easy hack on how to do this. Normally a tortilla, you'd have to peel potatoes, fry them, cut them, fry them, and use a lot of oil, and then put them in the egg and make your omelette, no? So the hack we're gonna do now is easy one. So all we're gonna need are 4 ingredients. So egg, we're gonna use potato chips from, this is cured cheese flavor potato chips. You can use any flavor you want. It can be Lay's. I normally use Lay's as well, but I saw this nice Spanish brand called Torres. I know this brand. This is the cured cheese flavor. So we're gonna use these potatoes instead of the real potatoes. I mean the real fried potatoes. Once you put them in the egg, this will soak up and it will rehydrate. So it'll give it the similar texture as potato. And to add a bit of a twist, we're gonna add Tierra de España. This is my product. We actually make this. So we're gonna add some chorizo to the tortilla to give it another flavor. You can add anything you want. You can add cheese, you can add meat, you can add longaniza, you can really put anything you want. But the traditional tortilla patatas would really just be potato and maybe onion, although there's a debate on whether it should have onion or not. No? So I'm gonna move the camera now in a while, so I'll just show you how we're gonna do it. This takes all of 5 minutes maybe, tops, right? So we'll start preparing this now. So we have 3 eggs here. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna beat them well. We're gonna beat them well. That's about it. Now we're gonna open this bag of potato chips. These are really well packed. So we're gonna open a bag. Just put them all in here, and you just have to mix them around. You just have to mix this for a while and maybe leave this soaking about 5 minutes, just so that the potatoes could, you can see here, the potatoes could absorb the egg and become soft before you cook them, right? We've opened the pack of chorizo Bilbao. We're probably gonna use half a stick. So if you please remember to remove the casing, since this is collagen. You can eat this, but better if you remove it. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roughly chop this. We'll cube it in 4s maybe. And we're gonna give this a quick fry. So we're gonna roughly chop it just to smaller bits so that they're easier to bite or to eat when you eat this dish. So I'm gonna give this a quick fry. Okay, so I've moved to the hot section of my kitchen. We're just gonna render this, fry this a bit, maybe 2-3 minutes. I did add a bit of olive oil in the pan just to speed up the process and let the fats render more. This will cook for a bit, and then we're gonna drain this so that we don't have a lot of the oil. We're gonna fold this, mix this in with the egg mixture and the potatoes, and we will proceed to doing the tortilla in a couple of minutes. Okay, so this is done. You know this, changed a bit of color. So we're just gonna drain this here. You can put as little or as much as you want in this omelette, but it really depends on you. I think this is enough for this small omelette. This is a small omelette, maybe good for 2-3 people, maybe, since it's tapa size, right? So we're gonna put the chorizo in the egg mixture. This oil that's left is chorizo oil. You could use this for frying an egg, for frying anything, making fried rice. So I suggest that you keep this oil. So this is the chorizo mixture. We're just gonna mix everything in. I didn't really put any salt here because I think the potatoes are salty enough and the chorizos are salty enough. So maybe I'll just put a bit more of oil. So after we mix this well and we see that the potatoes have incorporated in the egg, then we will proceed to cook this. Okay, so we've mixed the mixture. It's for me the right consistency. You can always add more egg if you want it more wet, or you can add less egg. We're just gonna put a bit of oil and heat up the pan. I'm using a small pan. I think this is a 5-inch pan or a 6-inch pan. I normally like using these pans for tortilla to make it more individualized. So you can make a bigger batch and then you can have different fillings inside. So one can be chorizo, one can be cheese, one can be ground beef or anything you really want, sardines, anything you want. No? So I normally make small ones, which I'll make 2 or 3, and then you can cut them in triangles and plate them, right? So also it would be nice to have a pan. If you had a pan that has high walls here, it will make it easier later to flip the tortilla once the bottom side is cooked. I think this is good. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna pour all of this. We're just gonna pour this. This is a non-stick pan, so we're hoping that this is not gonna stick. Normally it doesn't, so I'm just hoping that today it's not gonna fail me. So the point of this is with about a medium heat, just try to cook the outside of the egg. Make sure that the whole outer part is cooked, and you'll use a spatula. Some people just use a spoon. I like using a spatula to just slide it by the pan so they don't stick. And once we think we're gonna check, once this is a bit cooked, we're gonna put a plate on top and we're gonna flip it and we're gonna cook the other side. Okay, couple of minutes have passed. You can see it's cooking on the sides and it can easily turn. So this means that the bottom part is already getting a bit cooked. So we're gonna just lower the fire and we're gonna proceed to flip it. So try to get a plate that's just slightly a bit bigger than the pan. So you gotta put the plate here and then just make sure to put your whole hand on top of the plate. With this hand you hold the pan and then you flip it. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's nice to have a little bit of brown marks, but inside this is still a bit soft. So after you just slide it back in the pan. If there's any juices, just try to put them back in. Cooking time after this depends on how you like your egg. If you like it runny or a bit dry, it's up to you. But if you touch it with your hand, it'll tell you if it's still a bit wet inside. We here in our house, we like it a bit wet. So I will just cook it for about a minute and then serve it back. What I normally do is I'll flip this one more time and I leave the lighter side up. So when I flip it again for serving, this part is the one that stays on top. So again, we flip it, put it back in. See, this is still, it's not really brown, but it's okay. And I will get another plate for serving this. So I got a nicer plate. So later we're gonna serve this, and so this one's already, you don't really need to flip, you can just serve it like that. And this is your tortilla de patatas with potato chips and chorizo. So we got this bread in Landers the other day. It's very good. It's still soft and crusty. So what I did was I cut 4 slices. You can cut as many as you want. Basically, you get a garlic and you just cut it in half. You don't need to peel this. So all you gotta do is rub some on the bread. Just a bit, as much as you want, but I just do a little bit. And then you try to find the softest tomato you can. So these ones are nice and soft. And you just rub it in the bread. Try to reach all the sides. You can do 2. Try to get every single piece of the juice of the tomato out. You get now really good olive oil. Try to use extra virgin olive oil, and you just sprinkle this all over the bread. And for this, I like to use salt flakes, sea salt flakes, Maldon salt, or any kind of salt that you have, but you know, they're flaky like this. Hopefully it can be seen by the camera. And you just sprinkle the salt on the bread. And this is it. Later on, we're gonna plate this and show you how we serve this. But this is pan con tomate, which is perfect for any kind of tapas meal, Spanish meal. So here we have our ingredients to form all what we need. We don't need this oil. So basically it's mashed potato. We have some cubes of manchego cheese, some chorizo. So basically you just, of course, wash your hands and you just have to form the balls, whatever size you want. Try to make it, you know, maybe something like this. Make it as round as you can. And then what we normally do is we just make an indentation, and we can put a piece of chorizo inside, and then you just cover it and form it back into the form or size you want. So we have one here. We're gonna make another one that would be maybe, we put cheese, and then we're gonna make another one that has chorizo and cheese. No? So it's very easy. So once you have it a bit formed, you just make a hole, choose a nice big piece of cheese, put it in the middle, close it again, and then just form it back to the form you want. So here it is. Okay. Oops, it broke. Okay. Sometimes it's gonna break because it would be best if you could chill the mashed potatoes in the ref for a while, so that they become a bit easier to manipulate. But this should be okay. Like this. It doesn't matter if they're different sizes. You know, some can be bigger. It doesn't really. This is home cooking, so they don't have to be all the same size. I mean, we're gonna make a bigger one now because I'm gonna put in this piece of cheese, and this piece of chorizo. So we're gonna put these two in and then try to close it. And then just, this is like arts and crafts, you know. Cooking involves a lot of skills, creative, hand skills, art skills, crafts. So it's not very perfect, but we'll try to make it as nice as we can. So this is, so we made one of each. One is chorizo, one is cheese, and one is chorizo and cheese. So we've set up our station. We have the croquetas. You can make as many as you want. We have egg and breadcrumbs. So we're gonna whisk the eggs, dip the croquetas, this ball in the egg, bread it, and then we're gonna fry it. So this is just, again, these are really quick and easy recipes that don't require a lot of prep, and you know, they're easy to make. I know now it's pretty hard. You know, we're at home and we're cooking, and we have to wash the dishes. So we're trying to be as efficient as possible doing all of this. So basically, you just dip the croqueta in the egg, and then just use your other hand to, so you have a dry hand and a wet hand. Just use your other hand to coat the whole thing with, I use panko breadcrumbs here because it's nicer. It has a nice fluffy texture. It'll give a better texture to the croqueta. If you want, you can smash it a bit. So this would be one. We have another one. So it's pretty easy. Just coat it with breadcrumbs. You can later on make a sauce for this. It can be an alioli based sauce or any kind of sauce that you like, mayonnaise, that can be eaten with this. It can be eaten as is without any sauce, and this would go really well with a nice glass of wine, a white wine, or even a red, or even a rosé. A nice chilled rosé goes very well with this dish. It's a nice appetizer, pica pica. So we're doing the last one. After this, we're going to fry them. Since this is all cooked inside, this would fry really fast. So once you achieve the desired color you like, of how you like your croquetas to be, a bit on the darker side or a bit on the lighter side, you can put them in the oven for a bit, or after frying, you can put them in the oven for a couple of minutes just to make sure that if you have any cheese inside, that they've actually melted. So we take this out now. So these are the 3 croquetas we made. You know, these are different sizes, so you can, if you want to make them more uniform, you can. But you can make them elongated like the traditional croqueta. You can make them round. I've seen some people who make them square. So it's really up to you what you want to do. So our oil is up to temp. We have the three croquetas here. So we're just gonna dip this in the oil, and we're just gonna brown this. Probably a minute. You know, when you see that one side starts getting brown, you just turn it around. You can just fill the pan like half full of oil, so you don't have to waste a lot of oil. Although you can reuse the oil later on, you can filter it, and this is clean, so you can reuse it for other stuff. You just have to look at the bottom, and it really depends on how you like them. If you like them a bit more brown or not. You have to make sure that your oil is pretty hot at about 160, 165 degrees, so that it cooks faster than it burns, and it also will not be oily once you finish it. So this is how we want it to look. Some people will like it darker. It's really up to you. So we leave this for another minute, just so that everything gets sealed, everything gets brown and nice brown golden color. And you can do this in advance if you have a party, or if you have guests over, family. Now that we really can't have guests in the house, you can do this all in advance, and you can just leave them in the oven, and then before serving them, you can pop them in the oven for 10 minutes so that it warms up, the cheese melts, and that's it. It's really simple. So this is the third tapas we made. The last one, I'm gonna make a deli board, like a deli platter. So we have a nice board that I was able to get in Landers. We've bought all the ingredients from there. So a lot of Spanish deli, ham, cheese, lomo, chorizo. We're gonna put some nuts, some dried fruits, and that will be served later on. I'll show you all the final products. Okay, so for the last part of the tapas meal we were preparing. Sorry guys, I'm holding the camera now. I just want to show you what I have here. But we're gonna do a board deli platter, with the stuff that I was able to get from Landers. I will show you now what we have and how we're gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna show you what we're using for the board. This is chorizo iberico. We're gonna put some hand-carved jamon iberico. It's 42 months aged, hand-cut. So this is very prime and premium. We're putting chorizo Pamplona from Tierra. This is our product. And my favorite, the lomo iberico. This is the brand. This is my favorite part of the ham. In fact, of the pork, I prefer this over the jamon iberico. It's important to note that you need to open the packs, just for 5 minutes, just to let it come to room temp, and that way it'll be easier for you to manage them and put them in the board. For the board, we've laid out some manchego cheese here. There are some bacon flavored almonds. These are very good. We put some pistachio. We are going to put some dried blueberries and maybe some cranberries, just to give it a contrast, a bit of sweet. And we're also going to put pastel de merluza, which is like a fish pate. So we might just leave it in the container here, or I might transfer this to another container. So this is the board we're going to make now, and I'll start assembling this. So on the wine pairing, we have these two wines from Landers, Pluvium. They're table wines from Spain. One is white, one is red. Any of these wines will actually go well with any of the dishes we did today. Spanish wine is very easy to drink, and it can go well. Even white wine can go with a nice meat. You can have your white wines with the Pluvium wine. The Pluvium, I also use it for cooking. So if you want to do any sauces, it's very good for cooking. The red wine can also be, just make sure that when you serve it, it's chilled. I mean, room temp in Spain or in Europe or in any other country is different from room temp here in the Philippines. So I suggest that the red wine, if you can chill it for even 10-15 minutes in the chiller, just to cool it down a bit. And the white wine would be nice in a ice bath. So really a lot of ice water, and it'll be very nice chilled. Okay, so this is the final items we prepared. So we have the tortilla de patatas here. We've sliced them so it's easier to eat. Our croquettes with cheese and chorizo. Our pan con tomate. We have our deli board. Looks very good. I mean, I'm really very excited to eat this now. And we have our red wine and our white wine that will go very well with all these tapas. That's our chorizo. So I hope you guys can replicate this at home. And thanks for watching us. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I don't really normally do this type of videos, so I hope that you've been able to learn something, and that hopefully you can recreate this in your houses. And I hope you just enjoy everything. So we're almost done. Well, we're actually done with all the dishes we did today. So thank you for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed all the dishes we made. Talking briefly about the wines and other things you can do. If there's anything you guys need to ask me, you can look me up on Instagram or Facebook. Send me a message. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. That's it. I think that's it. We're done. Thank you again. I'm Miguel Vecin from Bar Pintxos and Tierra de España. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Thank you.